Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show with me, the chosen one, Messenger, Christopher, Spirit World X. It's once again a pleasure to have an opportunity to once again come on to the most heavily censored, stripped of content internet app, YouTube, to or channel, I should say, Christopher Spirit World X on YouTube, on the most heavily censored and stripped for content internet app in the world. Once again, it's such a pleasure to have an opportunity to reach out to you all. How's everyone doing? Boy, it's really a beautiful day out here. You have everyone hanging out, and fathers walking their children, and mothers enjoying their children in the playground, and teenagers playing basketball, and everyone just out enjoying the day while around them their government leaders, whether from Africa to the United Kingdom, to America, to South America, are doing everything they can to silence those who are outspoken, silence dissenters who have no desire to exist in the delusion that exists by our very, very, very old psychosocial conditioning and class and identity delegations, first and second class, and black Gentiles and who are actually Jews, and white Gentiles who we're forced to call Jews. Yes. Many people are certainly doing everything they can to prepare for what is obviously going to be a fallout. And that fallout happening, brothers and sisters, why? Because the elite and those who control our worldwide capitalist, democratic, communist system, they realize that these are the very real days of our long ago prophesied to come redemption, as per their capacity to and desire to want to silence me and stop me from pursuing my greater purpose on this planet, or what I know to be the lowest division of our authentic Trinity. What you learn in the Bible, in the book of Numbers chapter 3, is called the Matrix. What Elon Musk calls a simulation program, and other scientists who, of course, work in the area of quantum mechanics. And what I would like to do, brothers and sisters, at this point in time is go over a few current events with all of you. I, of course, scour the internet as I have been guided by the High Council of the Order of the Crystal Keys to, of course, I owe all the credit for the opportunity to be the chosen guided one that I am to, and to whom all of you should give all the credit for all of the gems that you're going to be enlightened with in respect to who you are as a Jew or a Gentile, and where you are in this Matrix program, mentally as well as by the programming and conditioning processes of your society you live in. So to the High Council of the Order of the Crystal Keys, all the credit goes. What you've been calling the Most High God, all the credit goes. What I know to be the highest division of our authentic Trinity. Okay? I'm going to give you an opportunity to fully understand what the Trinity is very shortly. But first I would like to go over some of the current events that I have been observing in the media over the past few weeks in respect to what's going on with the elite and their desperation to maintain a strong clench. When I say elites, I'm talking about, by the way, the scientific community, NASA, those who wish to put the structure of Starlink into the outer atmosphere. I'm talking about religious leaders. They're a part of the present elite class. You're just not aware of that. I'm talking about these individuals who you see on the internet calling themselves content creators and, stars. All of the individuals that we're being force-fed to pay attention to all of the chaos content that they are producing, fighting with each other. You have Jimmy Kimmel fighting with the individual that just created the I can't remember his name, Michael Todd, or he's a black individual who created the movie about I guess voodoo or sorcery, whatever, in the black community. Anyways, we're being force-fed to ingest all of this nonsense, and we're also being influenced to seek out information from content creators on YouTube and other areas and other apps, Reddit and I can't remember, it's called Pinterest. We're also being influenced by individuals who we think are just regular men and women who've gone on the internet to express their feelings in regards to politics and, religion. And these individuals actually are a part of the present hijacking attempt of our present redemption process. These individuals are working in conjunction with the individuals watching my videos on YouTube and mining all of the information that they can to put together their own videos and, of course, put false date and time stamps on them for 2 years ago, 5 years ago. So as to, just in case you run into any of my videos, you will think that I must be crazy. And as a result of these individuals putting out this information, apparently years before I did. Well, by this time in the Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show video compilation, you should know that all of that is nothing more than nonsense and manipulation. Okay, so I have a lot going on in my mind. Let's see, some more. So please don't mind me if I kind of hesitate while I'm talking. The present individual, the present current events that I've been looking at as of recently are information on how it is a young Chinese man and woman came from China, and they came with a specific mold that is meant to destroy our crops over here in America. And of course, once again, they were caught. And, we always hear that these individuals, they were caught. And, the man, of course, was sent back to China. And the woman, I don't know what happened to her. I really don't pay that much attention to the stuff that is being produced on the internet, because I know why it's taking place. For the most part, in the case of this supposed Chinese man and woman coming to America with this mold that is meant to destroy our crops after being dispersed throughout many, I guess, Midwestern or Western states. Of course, these are nothing more than right now an attempt of those who control the media and all of the individuals that are paid to steer our perception, to maintain control over our behavior and the way we think, the trajectory that we're thinking in respect to us being spirits within finite bodies, infinite spirits within finite bodies. These are nothing more than an attempt for the system to plant the seed of fear in your mind, especially if you are a plant-based individual, as I am. These individuals want to plant seeds of fear in your mind so that you do not pull away from the artificial foods that are created for you and placed in the grocery stores to sustain your survival, so that you do not pull away from the suffering of animals, so that you can, of course, fuel your body. Now, do I look like I am starving? And no, I don't. I am a vegan. I keep a alkaline body because I am, of course, a very magnetic spirit being, consciousness within this finite body. And to maintain good attraction potential, you have to also keep an alkaline body. And they do not want you to know this. This is one reason why here in America, they do everything to poison your water with chlorine so as to calcify your pineal gland. Okay? It's another aspect of the necessary tools that allow for your consciousness to elevate, in so many words. And I'm going to get into some very deep subject matter very soon in regards to your consciousness, okay? But to go on, other current events that are being, of course, produced throughout our very desperate control elite, three-dimensional and conscious awareness and five sensory in-depth perception corporate hive mind, in their desperation to create chaos and maintain control over your strength and your desired weakness. I have noticed that a woman who has very serious narcissistic personality disorder, going by the name of Dr. Arikana Chambry, of course. This woman was an aide, an ambassador to America from the African continent. And of course, she dealt with, making sure that deals between individuals in the, I guess, the African National Congress and the network of Europeans who, of course, are still an ongoing part of the Berlin Conference, including America. She, of course, was and probably still is. I think she's attempting to make it appear as if she's putting all her focus into the African continent and the people of Africa so as to maintain control over the people as per the revelation to these elites that on my channel Christopher Spirit World X, our redemption process was underway since 2021. And as part of the offensive measures that these individuals, who, of course, we're going to call the five sensory and depth perception, three-dimensional and conscious awareness, corporate hive mind, corporate, congressional, government, and judicial hive mind. And of course, we don't want to forget commerce. These individuals are doing everything they can to restructure the unnatural order by which they have the capacity to maintain the overriding of the pre-programmed rebalancing protocol to which the Gentiles came out of the Jewish mind and body. Let me say that again. To which the Gentile mind, three-dimensional field of conscious awareness, field frequency of conscious awareness, non-electromagnetic potential within a non-electromagnetic, meaning non-alkaline, electrochemical automated avatar, our body, came out of the electromagnetic mind and body of the Jews. Okay, now, please forgive me if at any time I lose you. My intent is not to lose you, and it's certainly not to confuse you. My intent is to do the best I can to make sure that you receive the exact thing in gems that I receive from the Most High division of our Trinity. That would be the High Council of the Order of the Crystal Keys. And of course, I want you to take a look here. This is one of my, it's an older, clipboard. Anyways, these here are receipts. The majority of all this that I have things written on, it's all receipts from stores. Many times, as a result of the redemption process being an ongoing thing and my thought process being constantly in connection with the High Council of the Order of the Crystal Keys, I will, let's say if I'm going into a store, I will begin to receive downloads, and of course, if I need to, if I'm given greater clarity, or I gain greater clarity, if I gain greater clarity just by, for instance, walking, by a woman and man who are having a conversation and hearing that man or that woman say something in a certain way, there is a unbelievable synchronicity, and of course my mind will start going, and then the High Council will then say a few words to me that literally leave me flustered, and I have to go to anything I can to write down what I am being equipped with so as to make sure this redemption process goes off without a hitch, okay? Because additionally, there are many individuals who are working feverishly to stop me. I mean, my goodness. For instance, Stephen Darby and his family, at the beginning of this process, the system produced Stephen Darby Ministries. It used individuals you know very well, like Rashad Jamal. Rashad Jamal was coming on the internet no less than 3 years ago, talking about high vibrational and low vibrational, and we're the children of the planet, and we're being destroyed by the nothing but nonsense, by the way, by the reptilians, and then you have Bobby Hemmett, and of course telling you that it's the reptilians who are attempting to destroy the planet. You have, my goodness, Papa Duck attempting to play the part of someone who watches my videos, takes all of my content, and then recreates his own videos so as to make it appear like the others, as if everything I'm saying to you came out of their mouth, and none of it did. You have religious leaders, other religious leaders like Louis Farrakhan, who, when the question by his flock, melanated men and women, formerly known as Jews, okay, no differently than the African people still over in Africa, formerly known as Jews, before they turned into Egyptians and decided to, sell their high vibrational, middle conscious, co-creative, Christ Yang conscious aspect to Europe. These individuals, who wonder what happened to us, Minister Farrakhan. Minister Farrakhan telling these brothers and sisters that there was a part of our race that created the white man to get back to get back at this part of our race that killed his family, and many individuals like him who many people look up to for his capacity to woo the crowd with many love bombs that relate to your new black delegation and your new black psychosocial class delegation, and your struggle with, getting ahead in life, and individuals like him. Let's see, and R.C. Blakes. Now, this is a gentleman who has, over the last few years, many of these individuals none of us have ever heard of. These individuals, if they were on the internet years ago, I've never heard of them. Stephen Darby, for sure, I've never heard of that man. And I even when I was out on the street running amok, I still paid attention to a lot of my spiritual conditioning, because, there are many of us who are heartless, and we have no, we don't incline to be spiritual, but there are many and of course, we front as if we're very good people in this world of ours. And then there are many who, of course, are in a bad situation as a result of their conditioning and the way in which they've had their moms, their dads were raised, and the conditions they were raised in. They find themselves sometimes having to do, very, very, very distasteful things, just to survive. And they are individuals who are inclined to the spirit. So, as a result of the policies that are written in respect to our psychosocial order, in this, three-dimensional conscious awareness controlled psychosocial system, you have many individuals who are truly very, very capable of making this world a better place, who are suppressed and set aside, and the individuals who don't have those same, those same gifts, they are given an opportunity to maintain the missteering of your children's perception online. They're the individuals who, for the most part, get an opportunity to ensure that we continue as a multi-frequency group of Jews and Gentiles who continue heading toward not only emotional breakdown, emotional instability, but the destruction of our Matrix program as a result of the forced conditions that policy sustains. Well, R.C. Blakes recently has been uploading videos onto YouTube, and if you look down at his thumbnail, most of his thumbnails, they, of course, for some reason, they, from out of nowhere, he's creating videos that, the thumbnail on them is, God, no one can curse what God has blessed. I read a video thumbnail of his, and of course the date and time stamp that it was, of course, said to have been brought out was last year, and of course it has 75,000 views a year ago, and like the majority of the videos that he's uploading right now, and all of them, for some reason, out of just a coincidence, his content relates to my present progress on the Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show. And what these individuals are doing, they are attempting to do everything they can to keep up pace with me, so that they never allow me to get ahead. And they, by creating their videos like this, depending upon what I am uploading in my videos, they will do everything they can to, just by uploading these videos and making sure that the algorithm puts them in your feed, especially if you click on a video about the Chosen One. There are many people making videos that speak on the Chosen One. Well, the algorithm is set to make sure that R.C. Blake's videos get uploaded into your feed if you do tune into any of those videos. Another one are the Joker videos. I'd love to meet this guy. His name is Animus Morphosis, I'm pretty sure. Hey man, you're doing an awesome job. Keep it up, Animus. And try not to put too much who is he, who is she in your videos. You might as well just be upfront. If these people, Animus, have the gall and the audacity to attempt to present to the whole world, videos that talk about being high vibrational and talk about the age of Aquarius and talk about enlightenment and talk about, abundance. Well, there's nothing wrong with you. Well, no, then again, I understand. You certainly all want to have enough information to make sure that when you do make a stand, your stand is solid and stern. So continue on if you must, saying in your videos when you're talking about how these psychopaths feel about what I'm doing, how they say to themselves, who is he? Who is she? You can continue doing that. Just know this, guys. Judgment is really, really close. And I guarantee you're all going to be affected when it falls. So when that drops, I hope you will be ready to make a stand then, because at that time, you're going to have no choice but to follow all of my instructions, or you will be destroyed. Well, your body will be destroyed, and your mind, which is infinite, will have an opportunity to experience itself. And boy, will that be one hell of a time. Okay? Now, R.C. Blakes, I want to get away from him, but be very cautious of these people, brothers and sisters. First of all, what I want to say to all of you Christian brothers and sisters, I understand that the faith you have, it's a faith that you've been conditioned to all of your life. No differently than Buddhists have been conditioned to the faith they have. It's no different than the faith in Osiris, when, of course, we Jews existed in Egypt, and of course, have since then reincarnated, and through the transatlantic slavery, landed in America, and now, of course, we are in the low vibrational avatars that we are in by negative electromagnetic attraction potential of our consciousness, our perception. But even then, we had faith that in what we were taught, and we didn't want to let it go. And very, very few people could influence us to give up on what we believe. And of course, you know, this speaks to the individual formerly known as Jews, now African leadership, who, of course, sold the middle conscious division, the middle co-creative, Christ, Yang, conscious, high vibrational aspect of our collective consciousness existing behind the billions of melanated bodies, or the millions at that time. It speaks to how it is these individuals, they did everything they could to conspire with the Gentiles, the corporate hive mind, who, of course, at that time, these individuals were the kings and the queens of England, and these individuals having a high vibrational aspect to their collective conscious and to their collective frequency, to their non-electromagnetic frequency, and of course having a high vibrational aspect and a low vibrational aspect. The high vibrational aspect of that non-electromagnetic frequency existing in the women, and the low vibrational aspect of that frequency existing in the men. How it is the formerly known as Jews, then called Africans, Egyptians, decided they were going to co-conspire with the Gentiles to, instead of activate and, continue initiating processes that would rebalance the frequency of conscious electromagnetic manifest potential of the melanated race, instead of making sure that rebalancing and realignment with our authentic trinities, electromagnetic radio frequency spectrum I'll explain all this to you very shortly. They decided to co-conspire to hijack this rebalancing protocol and do all that they can to maintain confusion in the mind of melanated men and women across the world who are the middle division, the middle conscious, 9-dimensional inconscious awareness, 7th sensory in-depth perception, high and low vibrational frequency aspect of the melanated men and women of the Jewish community. How it is these individuals, I don't know if I made too much sense there. Anyways, don't worry. I will make sure that you are fully in the awareness of the truth on the high and low vibrational aspects of who we are by electromagnetic and non-electromagnetic value, existing as the co-creators and the fail-safe protocol conscious controls who were sent by pre-programming and of course attracted by the electromagnetic misalignment of the Jewish frequency collective, the middle co-creative Christ Yang conscious division of our Trinity. So I'll make sure that you have all the information that you need so that this can be fully understood and so that you can grasp today so that the future can be yours. And trust me, the future is gonna be yours because the Most High ain't playing no games. And boy, is this mighty frightening. I don't want to say I'm scared, but I do want to say that, wow, that's all. I don't want to say any more than that. All I have to say again is you do not want to be on the wrong side of this. Mark my words. You don't want to be on the wrong side of the pre-programmed destiny of this planet, of this matrix program, and the restoration of the electromagnetic manifest potential of our consciousness, of our Jew and Gentile, multi-frequency, electromagnetic and non-electromagnetic manifest potential. You don't want to be on the wrong side of this. Okay, so what I want to do is today, brothers and sisters, I want to read to you this here. I want to read to you just this here. Can you all see that? So that you have an opportunity to see how much I have to, so that you have an opportunity to see just how much I have to share with you all over the next few Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show shift clips. Okay, I want to share with you, let me see here, give me one moment please. Okay, I want to share with you just the first piece of paper. You see, it's a receipt. I'm really big on receipts. If you've been watching the Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show, you understand that receipts are priceless. So, here's just another priceless receipt that you all are going to love. Boy, are you going to love what's on this piece of paper. And don't worry, all of the pieces of paper that you just had an opportunity to see are full of amazing information and very little repetition in the way of knowledge, unless it's repetition that you must have an opportunity to hear over and over again so that you get it through your head, so that you're able to wrap your mind around this mind spending. Age of Aquarius enlightenment. So, before I do that, what I'd like to do is I would like to show you Dr. Abercrombie, or Arikana Chiombre, who, of course, again, works not for you, brothers and sisters, but in all actuality, she works against you. And I want to give you an opportunity to see exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about Arikana Chiombre. Now, there's light out here outside, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, let's see, that's R.C. Blake's. You see R.C. right there? That's R.C. Blake's. I wish I could show you all these people without the sun glaring on what I'm doing here. But let's go down to Mrs. Chiombre. Okay, you see Arikana Chiombre? She is... Where is she? She's here. Okay, Mrs. Arikana Chiombre. Now, her video is... Okay, there she is. Her video is Dr. Arikana breaks down the colonial poison still suffocating Africans. And of course,
we were born on the battlefield.
We'll give one moment so that
from the original freedom machine.
Okay, there we skip it.
They sent the Christians, the missionaries, to also teach us. We didn't know about the color black and white before the missionaries came to Africa, before the colonizers, the settlers came to Africa. But they told us about the color black and the color white. And they told us...
Now, I'm going to stop there, okay? In that video, Dr. Arikana is, of course, attempting to weasel her way out of the responsibility that you must hold her to in taking part in maintaining the hijacking of the rebalancing protocol out of the hands of the high vibrational aspect of the three-dimensional and conscious awareness, five sensory and depth perception, conscious control Gentile community. All right? In collusion with the low vibrational aspect, okay? You know how you all have a Jekyll and Hyde? And let's say the Jekyll is the bad side and the Hyde is the good side of you. Well, let me just say it this way. You might believe that you are what you see in the mirror, but how's that possible when you realize that you do have a Jekyll and Hyde side, right? Same thing going on with the collective frequency of conscious awareness, non-electromagnetic conscious awareness of the Gentile spectrum, whether they be Europeans, Asians, Indians, Arabs, doesn't matter. Between every Asian man and woman, there is a high vibrational aspect and a low vibrational aspect to their specific degree of conscious awareness and function, to their specific pre-programmed degree of three-dimensional conscious awareness and five sensory depth perception. Same thing going on between the Indians and the Arabs and the Asian men and women, who are an external low vibrational electrochemical automated inverted, let me start that over, who are a pre-programmed inverted in conscious awareness and low vibrational sensory depth perception electrochemical automated fail-safe protocol conscious control, who are or of the internal electromagnetic misalignment, who are an external reflection of the internal electromagnetic misalignment from our three-divisional trinities, electromagnetic radio frequency spectrum, and the excuse me, I'm sorry about that. And these individuals, oh goodness, I kind of lost where I was, but I'm not going to stop this video because I can't. I'm going to keep on going, and I don't feel like having to start over. So just so that you know who the Jews and the Gentiles are. But this woman, Dr. Arikana, needs to not be forgotten as one of the individuals who have known for a very long time the psycho-socio-economic programming and conditioning processes that have kept her people impoverished. She has known it. It's not as if this woman just all of a sudden 2 months ago or a few hours ago decided to have an epiphany on what's really been going on. She's been knowing that this has been going on, and she's been, of course, being funded to help to maintain the power structure that has hijacked not only the purpose of Gentile men and women from Asia to America, but also the hijacking of the rebalancing protocol of the high vibrational electromagnetic manifest frequency potential of melanated men and women, not only here in America, but of course all over the world, and especially Africa. Now, in this video, Mrs. Abercrombie is attempting to explain to all of you over in Africa why it is the African presidents decided that instead of coming together with the other individuals that maintained and controlled the ANC, why it is these individuals decided, instead of coming together, they decided to just shut their mouths for, I think, 7 generations, continue handing down power to their children and fleecing not only the physical resources, but more importantly, the mental resources of the melanated people over in Africa. And this woman in this video, she wants to make it appear as if her and Ibrahim Traore are going to be the saviors of Africa by letting you all know what's been going on and letting you know that the French Parliament has recently decided to no longer accept deposits from Africa, and of course making sure that instead these deposits are left in Africa. And of course he's going to help the African people to be able to understand what conspiracy and conditioning program they have been, of course, under. Oh my goodness, you're gonna have to forgive this father over here. He is going off on his son. I mean, sheesh. Sometimes kids, they are sometimes children are certainly, it doesn't matter how old they are. Sometimes they are extremely defiant, and a lot of them, not by any fault of their own completely, are dangerous, and we all know that. And so please overlook what is presently being heard in the background. Of course, oh my gosh. I cannot wait until all of this is ended. And believe me, I'm the chosen one. I know it's ending soon. So, I just ask that you join me, because you don't want to miss out on all the festivities. Now, do you? You certainly don't, brothers and sisters. Now, what I'd like you to do, by the way, that video by Ericana Chiambre is just for educational purposes only. And I want you to first take a look at what this woman is saying in that video. And after you have an opportunity to do that, I would like you to come back to my video and listen to what I have to say in regards to everything that she is espousing in her video. And I'm going to, of course, say these things to you right now, okay? This is very, very, very powerful stuff. So get ready to be enlightened. Drop these gems in your children's ears. Drop these gems in your family and your friends' ears. And make sure that you don't forget any of this, because you're going to need a lot of it in the near future, okay? And by the way, as I said, to all of you individuals who believe you can take this information and repackage it and put a date and time stamp on it as if it was said 10 years ago and 5 years ago, and all you Bobby Hemmets out there, and all of you Papa Ducks out there, and all of you spiritual souls out there, and spiritual baddies, and all of you Walk Heavy channel, listen. You people don't have a chance in hell of stopping what is coming to you. Mark my words, not a chance in hell. So what you should do is do an about face and walk the other way before what comes out of the invisible sky around you is something that takes your breath totally away. Okay? This goes for every one of you. Not just for those I've mentioned, every one of you. I'm not here to be played games with. Obviously, I'm still here, aren't I? Plant-based and all, I'm still here. And I will continue to be here. As I've told you a few years ago, when this Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show video upload compilation started, I told you I wouldn't let you down, and I haven't let you down. I've told you many things that are presently happening throughout the world would happen before they happened, and they're still happening. They're presently happening, as I told you they would. So do yourselves a favor. Stop playing the fool. And by the way, also pay attention to Dr. Sam Vaknin and Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil's uploading videos, paying special attention to, I mean, these people are just ridiculous. Dr. Phil's doing the same thing R.C. Blakes is doing. He's creating videos. Dr. Phil calls his videos fill in the blanks, as he talks about subject matter that isn't quite clear, but he wants you to fill in the blanks because he knows your chances on having watched some of my videos or all of my videos over the past few years is very high. Same thing going on with R.C. Blake's. So please, and Dr. Sam Vaknin. So be very cautious of the times, because they are very dangerous times if you're going to be sleeping and if you're going to choose a non-electromagnetic path into the future. There is no currency on this planet like electromagnetism. That's why reaping and sowing is such a big subject in the churches. It has nothing to do with dropping a financial seed and reaping a physical material abundance from on high. That's all nonsense. It has everything to do with having the capacity to realign with our three divisional trinities, electromagnetic radio frequency spectrum structure, and reaping the abundance of an unbelievable experience with the unseen. Coming up on the Worldwide Paradigm Shift Show, and of course in a neighborhood near you, from Right Out of the Blue. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to read this information for you so that you have an opportunity to grasp to a greater extent what's really going on around you. Okay, let me first find my spot. Who are we, Jews and Gentiles? Who are we really? We, the Jews, are an infinite spiritual collective consciousness whose purposed conscious contribution capacity exists on a different frequency, okay, than all other life forms, for the greater purpose of than all other life forms presently participating in conscious function and conscious contribution, for the greater purpose of the restoration of balance of electromagnetic potential to our trinities electromagnetic radio frequency spectrum. What is our true trinity? What is our true trinity's three divisions? Okay, this is our true trinity, brothers and sisters, all right? The highest division of our trinity is the invisible field of consciousness between planets, okay? The okay, so the invisible field of consciousness between the planets. Now, you might look up into the sky at night, as we'll call it, and you see stars out there, and there are planets, of course, that exist around those stars that you cannot see. And, of course, the space that exists between these star systems, these solar systems, these are fields of consciousness, intelligence, sensory depth perception, discernment, omniscience, everything you could imagine the Most High would have, all right? The middle division of our Trinity is the invisible space between the ears of formerly known people, the formerly known Jewish people. Now, in our three-dimensional conscious awareness, five-sensory and depth perception controlled psychosocial systems, the Black and African people of the planet. The lowest division of our Trinity, of course, is the solid, liquid, and gas of the three-dimensional field that allows us to have the capacity to use our sensory depth perception to experience what we're experiencing. And of course, as it's floating within the mind of our Trinity's highest division. Now, of course, this is what the Catholic Church wants to hide from everyone. This is why the Catholic Church has worked so hard to maintain a different narrative in regards to divinity and the Trinity. And of course, this is why the false Christ Church conditioned all of us to believe that Christ was a European, and not only a European, but a singular physical being like myself. Christ. Now, of course, there were prophets who came with the Christ conscious field of perception, conscious awareness, very much like I am here, who came and who were also destroyed by their own people, the Jews, individuals who decided to call themselves Egyptians and Africans. No differently than today, it is Jewish people attempting, in collusion with Gentiles, Jewish people who don't wish to be Jews, in collusion with the, of course, three-dimensional unconscious awareness, five-sensory in-depth perception, corporate hive mind control apparatus, in collusion with them to presently destroy me. The Christ, re-risen Christ conscious frequency, okay, that I am the chosen head of, brothers and sisters, so that none of you make a mistake in getting confused in regards to who is the chosen one. Now you know. So let me go ahead and continue reading what I was reading. Now that we've gotten that part out of the way, we'll go on. Boy, the sun is blaring today, and it's not easy to read all of this very, very tiny writing with the sun blaring in my eyes, but I'm going to do the best I can. So that you do get the truth in regards to who you are and who we all are, okay? Let's see here. Let's go back. Okay. We Jews and Gentiles are a multi-frequency spectrum of conscious collectives who of course exist with different fields of conscious awareness, some non-programmed, some pre-programmed. The Jews have a non-programmed field of conscious awareness. This is where in the Bible you read we have free will. Now the Gentiles have a pre-programmed field of conscious awareness. And of course, although the Gentiles are infinite beings, their consciousness, of course, and their physical avatars do not, they are replicated through sexual reproduction, while the conscious awareness and the conscious awareness of them is also replicated by sexual reproduction. While, as far as the Jews are concerned, the consciousness reincarnates, okay, through sexual reproduction. Okay, so the same mind that you have today, brothers and sisters of the Jewish conscious collective, you had 20,000 years ago. You have just degraded to a greater electromagnetic negative attraction or manifest potential, and you, of course, have, by that potential, attracted into the present low vibrational avatars that you exist in. Okay? Both are, of course, both of us are existing together for the restoration of balance of electromagnetic potential to our Trinity's electromagnetic radio frequency spectrum. Okay? Now, of course, though we all exist together, we, in this Matrix program, we exist under an unnatural order. Of course, if you know anything about, the educational system, the schools of higher education like Harvard, they have a club called the Order of the Skulls. Now, of course, the Order of the Skulls is for our Gentile corporate hive mind the order of the day. Because, and of course, to the secret societies who work in the Masonic orders, the religious groups who work in collusion with these Masonic orders, the Order of the Skulls is the order of the day. And the reason being is because these individuals presently have all of our contribution capacities working to sustain what is called a human conscious degrade blood sacrifice agenda. Now, this reality, this psycho-socioeconomic, geopolitical, religious, judicial, scientific, psychological operation that we call modern civilization, of course, behind the veil of this, what we call modern civilization, is the human conscious degrade blood sacrifice agenda, all right, that these individuals have set up. When I say scientific, I'm talking about NASA, from NASA, Google, all the way over to the agricultural systems, all the way over to the high courts, the middle courts, the lower courts. I'm talking about all the way over to I said religions. Whether that's Islam or whether that is Christianity or no matter what religion it is. All of these exist. What undergirds all of these is what the secret societies know to be a human conscious degrade blood sacrifice agenda. Now, this human conscious degrade, of course, is the first part of the conspiracy for our corporate heads, that our corporate heads are, in compliance with, our religious heads, everybody's in compliance with it. This human conscious degrade is rooted, because we are all spirit beings, to whom all exist with a pre-programmed or a non-programmed field of conscious contribution. And of course, as a result of us being connected by electromagnetism, okay, Gentiles are, of course, low vibrational external reflections, okay, electrochemical automated reflections of Jews' internal electromagnetic misalignment. So they're behind our flesh, within our psycho-socioeconomic order, you may not see the electric transfer of energy that is taking place between black men and white women and Asian women and Indian women and Arab women and black women and European men and Asian men and Indian men and European men. But there is a negative energy transfer as a result of the melanated man and woman being, their bodies being the conversion supports of the high and low vibrational aspect of the middle co-creative Christ Yang conscious frequency and middle division of our Trinity. You may not see the negative transfer of energy that exists by their electromagnetic misalignment, but that transfer of energy is always taking place. And of course, the purpose for the individuals who control our Order of the Skulls, this conspiracy that is being maintained so as to hijack the rebalancing protocol that was pre-programmed before, way before the Gentiles even came out of the low vibrational avatar of the middle co-creative Christ Yang conscious frequency, because these individuals want to maintain the overriding of this redemption process and hijacking of this rebalancing protocol. These individuals are doing everything they can to maintain confusion and chaos in respect to how we are presently surviving and what is going to sustain us. They're raising prices to stimulate fear, and they are taking away benefits. And these benefits, of course, were given to you, brothers and sisters, especially you black men and women, originally Jews, especially you, because they wanted to make sure that you get comfortable with your living conditions, and you, of course, are triggered by the the great manipulation that happens through television into greater negative energy transfer, so that the inversion of your electromagnetic potential would take place by you, for the most part, sabotaging your opportunity to once again regain the middle conscious division position that is rightfully yours. And I'm going to say that once again as I read on, so that you could, of course, from the inside out, destroy yourself. All right, so now all of these things are being taken away from you, your civil rights, all of these things that allowed you an opportunity to contribute to the unnatural psychosocial order of the skulls for as long as you have here in America. And at this point in time, you are also being told, we will give you reparations, but it won't be a cash reparations. It's going to have to be an opportunity to, to go to our schools, and we'll, make sure that you have a place to sleep, a place to stay. We'll make sure that, you have an allotment for, some food, but we will not give you money of your own. Now, the reason why, of course, this is happening, brothers and sisters, my Jewish brothers and sisters, is so that you remain under the control of the three-dimensional conscious awareness, five sensory in-depth perception, corporate hive mind, and don't have an opportunity to once again come together so as to put all of your resources together and prepare yourselves to realign your frequency with your Trinity's electromagnetic radio frequency spectrum, and of course so that you of course are destroyed, and that inversion leads to, instead of you taking that position, artificial intelligence taking that position. Now I'm going to read what I just said to you over again right here. Okay, I'm going to read it to you so that you have a clearer understanding, a broader understanding than what you may have gleaned as I was talking. Okay, so the human conscious degrade is rooted in also within this psychosocial order, the females, the European, the Asian, the Arab, the Indian women being suppressed, and of course their identities being delegated to nothing more than sex objects. And this is, in this society, these individuals who, of course, the men within this society, this European society, and the men within all Gentile societies, whose lives are sustained by the sourcing of resources coming from Africa, not only the resource of electromagnetic negative energy transfer as a result of electromagnetic misalignment, but also the physical resources. This money, of course, it's been handed down to the Gentile women. And of course, the Gentile women have been told, hey, don't worry about going to work, you stay home, and you know what I mean, we just need you to have babies. And of course, while she was at home, she was being conditioned to a non-electromagnetic identity narrative, a non-electromagnetic lifestyle. Now, this lifestyle, of course, is a lifestyle that is chock full of non-essentials, such as, the long fingernails, the wigs, a lot of our black women wear the wigs. A lot of the women have been conditioned through advertising to wear the tight clothes, showing all of their goodies. They've been, for the most part, as I said a moment ago, they've also been the victim of this conditioning. Now, the reason why they've been suppressed is so that they don't have an opportunity to counteract the steering of perception of the Jew and Gentile communities, and the degrading of their conscious awareness as Jews and Gentiles in the unnatural psycho-socio-economic order that has been in place for generations. Okay, so remember, the human conscious degrade blood sacrifice agenda is in two parts. Of course, the actuators of the degrade are the high and low vibrational aspect of the middle co-creative Christ Yang conscious frequency existing behind the formerly known as Jewish newly delegated black people and African people. Okay? And of course, it is also maintained by not only the degrading of the missteering of the perception of the conscious awareness of the melanated men and women who are 9-dimensional naturally in conscious awareness and 7 sensory and depth perception. And, of course, along with the missteering of perception of the European, Asian, Indian, and Arab woman. Now, does this mean that every European man walking around is dangerous, is evil? No, that is not what this means, brothers and sisters. But what this does mean is these individuals will have very little desire to stop what is happening, because the pre-programmed low vibrational aspect of conscious function that they have is being constantly fueled their sensory depth perception stimulation desire is being constantly sustained and fueled by the 3-dimensional unconscious awareness, 5 sensory and depth perception corporate hive mind, who, of course, has not only been sourcing, African resources, sourcing the electromagnetic manifest potential of the melanated man and woman for negative energy transfer through manipulation, but has also been sourcing their intelligence to get them to join, the military-industrial complex so that they can, of course, perfect artificial intelligence, okay? Now, the blood sacrifice agenda. The blood sacrifice agenda aspect of this human conscious degrade blood sacrifice agenda and conspiracy to override this redemption process and keep in place the hijacking of the rebalancing protocol requires the blood sacrifice agenda requires that we continue believing that we must eat animals to sustain our survival. And of course, all over the earth, many of us are convinced that this is normal. And remember, this is an unnatural order of the skulls that we all exist by, and by terms that are hijacked. So this blood sacrifice agenda, it involves not only eating a few animals, but it involves having all animals on the dinner plate, whether that's snails in China, whether that's worms, it doesn't matter. Whether it's cats and dogs, whether it's monkeys. We are literally being influenced to duplicate the conscious function of what you know as a demon. One who is totally unconscious and disconnected from the truth of who we are as infinite spirits, who exist by the electromagnetic manifest potential of our frequency, and who is totally disconnected from the truth of our authentic Trinity. These individuals, they tell you that the false Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, is the Trinity, and none of that is true. These individuals know that as long as they have the capacity to control the the audio video transmissions throughout radio towers or by way of radio towers, and control of script writing, that they know that they have the capacity to maintain the scrambling of our frequencies, the scrambling of our and of course the degrade of our conscious potential, which is electromagnetic, not non-electromagnetic. And they will be able to literally bring us to the ultimate conclusion of the human conscious degrade blood sacrifice agenda that is, of course, underpinning our psycho-socioeconomic, geopolitical, judicial, religious, and scientific psychological operation we call modern civilization. I want to go ahead and read the rest of this because just a moment ago I just got an error sign on my phone that I'm low on battery. So I hope that I do have enough time to read the rest of this to you. If I don't have enough time to read the rest of this to you, I'll read it again in my next video so that you have an opportunity to grab the rest of this, okay? So this human conscious degrade inversion of, or this human conscious degrade transgenerational inversion of the natural order of conscious awareness and electromagnetic manifest potential and blood sacrifice, or I'm sorry, please forgive me. This human conscious degrade, okay, transgenerational inversion of the natural order of conscious awareness to supplant our Trinity's middle co-creative Christ conscious or Yang conscious division, okay, with artificial intelligence and blood sacrifice agenda. What it involves is establishing a psycho-socioeconomic, geopolitical, judicial, religious, scientific, mechanical system that opposes the natural order of conscious contribution of our Trinity's electromagnetic host and non-electromagnetic suitor, which of course that would be you brothers and sisters who are Gentiles, okay? Create traditions such as birthdays, false origin stories, ape evolution narrative, implement educational systems, religions, and of course educational systems that underpin those religions, and psycho-social economic and psycho-socioeconomic order where the middle conscious Trinity divisions, electromagnetic co-creative host Jew, is robbed of identity, reclassified as African, black, and given a second-class socioeconomic standing within the Gentile psycho-socioeconomic order, while the non-electromagnetic Gentile suitor holds the place of first class. This order maintains complete opposition to natural conscious connection of the middle conscious co-creative Christ Yang conscious frequencies to natural electromagnetic conversion, and also maintains complete opposition to natural electromagnetic conversion of consciousness, while the system colonizes geographic locations where the Jew electromagnetic host is found, okay? It uproots natural pre-programmed fruits and vegetables and supplants plantations, cotton, banana, soybean, coffee bean, tobacco, citrus fruit, palm oil, establishes farming of animals, cattle, goat, sheep, chickens, cows, snakes, ostrich, monopolizes oil, gas, and intelligence, commoditizes all of them, creates markets globally, all right, sets currency and economic standards, impoverishes the people of so-called third world nations, drives migration from their geographic locations to Gentile geographic locations, establishes aid organizations, funds brain drain schemes, okay, creating educational systems that miseducate you, and while they miseducate you, they also brain drain your intelligence. And of course, let me go to the other side here. So that you know, this type of reorganizing and restructuring reflects going over the line of a balanced yang and yin sensory depth perception experience that puts, by the conditioning of lies like you live once and you are born and of course you will die, puts the human conscious condition in a place of emotional instability. Their sensory depth perception and stimulation, their remaining sensory depth perception and sensory stimulation ahead and above and beyond all yin conscious contributions pre-programmed for participating their conscious contribution. Now, the natural yin conscious are the animal kingdom, the insect kingdom. They were pre-programmed to naturally participate their conscious function in what they call the circle of life. As we reincarnate and they replicate their, of course, conscious contribution, which was pre-programmed to participate in us having a high vibrational sensory depth perception experience. Of course, it's been brought to a place where they don't even have the capacity to have a natural sensory depth perception experience themselves, because they're constantly not only put in fear by fireworks and explosions, but they're also being consumed and destroyed by herbicides, chemicals, so that you and I can, of course, now consume not natural fruits and vegetables, but genetically modified artificial organisms, okay? So all that was natural is now, of course, under the lock and key of those who've hijacked our rebalancing protocol, and these individuals are providing us with things that maintain not only the blood sacrifice agenda of the natural yin conscious contributions, but of course genetically modified organisms that for the most part don't have the capacity to provide us with a alkaline system. So we are really in a bad situation, okay? But we're not aware of that, okay? And as a result of all of this, putting, our sensory depth perception and our sensory stimulation above and beyond all of the very necessary factors to our sensory depth perception experience, we have gotten to the point that only our pleasure is deemed or considered conservable or preservable. Now, because of our transgenerational, non-electromagnetic, low vibrational, mechanical conditioning and disconnection from our Trinity multi-conscious electromagnetic radio frequency spectrum as a result of transgenerational conditioning, we are highly arrogant, highly empty, egoic, and very sexually sensitive, okay, because of this. And our conscious disconnection from one another is very, very, very real. It's very great, okay? So what we must do, brothers and sisters, is we must commit to acknowledging our identity as separate from our flesh. We must commit to acknowledging our identity instead of by what we see in the mirror. We must commit to acknowledging our identity as separate from our flesh. We must focus our energy on touching one another without physical hands before physical touch. Okay? And we do that by acknowledging the fact that we are high vibrational reflections of one another, and our body, male and female, are conversion supports so as to sustain our capacity to infinitely exist as the middle conscious division of our Trinity. Okay? We have to focus our energy on talking, speaking without words, audible words, or body language. We have to focus our energy into hearing without verbal or physical signals. Focusing our energy on being one mind, together, without physical unity. This amplifies, let me read that again. We must focus our energy on being one mind, together, without physical unity. Jew and Gentile, by the way, brothers and sisters. Okay? Jew and Gentile. That doesn't mean that a Jewish man has, sex with a Gentile woman, or a Gentile and a Jewish woman has sex with a Gentile man to reproduce. No. We are going back to our natural order, so as to first synchronize our frequencies, high and low vibrational aspects, and then we're going to Jew and Gentile. And of course, then we are going to restore our planet, okay? And of course, by reconnecting, by that synchronization, we will reconnect and realign with our three divisional trinities, electromagnetic radio frequency spectrum, okay? We must realize that the neon lights, the horns, the bells and whistles, the physical forms around us, the people running around aimlessly, believing that their identities in their, bodies, the muscles that they're carrying around, or the fake mammary glands that they have, built into their chest, or their fake butt implants, or their fake wigs, or their fake dreads. These individuals wearing the perfumes and the different scents that they use to, of course, they say attract individuals and draw individuals in, are sensory stimulation tools that have been created and used to invert our infinite frequency of electromagnetic conscious awareness and function to the non-electromagnetic mechanical function of our finite body. Okay, these are tools to invert our infinite frequency of electromagnetic conscious awareness and function to the non-electromagnetic mechanical function of our finite form, mind control programming, and low vibrational sensory depth perception conditioning for 5 sensory conditioning. All right, let's see here. By our transgenerational, by our transgenerational inversion process, we have gone from the Christ conscious identity to the identity of Satan. Now, many around you are being told to tell their children, or many around you, many working to condition your mind, are telling you many things that are, you believe that these things are told to you to work for you. But the reality is these things are meant to work against you, okay? Being told that eye contact is important, looks are important, is a trap of inversion. What is important is your field of perception and your alkaline body and your healthy sexual reproductive capacity to support reactivation of high vibrational reincarnation process, of our high vibrational reincarnation process. While we are under the impression that black power is cute and empowering, claiming the 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons that make up the molecular structure of our melanated bodies, our identity, the Gentile 3-dimensional conscious aware 5-sensory and depth perception corporate hive mind realize that to them it is vital to their capacity. It is vital to their capacity for us to believe this, so they may continue overriding their pre-programmed rebalancing commission. Knowing these finite melanated forms are low vibrational avatars with a fail-safe protocol finite delegation. This is the reason those among their most elite, that is, those who created the Apple iPhone, those who are heads of NASA, those are the corporate heads, and the atheists representing their identity by not the upright 5-pointed star, which is representative of 5 sensory awareness and 3-dimensional conscious awareness, but the inverted star. Instead, the inverted star, being as they are in the knowing of being external electrochemical, automated, mechanical reflections of our interdimensional Jewish electromagnetic misalignment. As they claim 666, the number of the beast, the non-electromagnetic machine, having only the level of conscious awareness of the animal, to which their field of conscious awareness by our internal electromagnetic misalignment karmically exists as. So, now, that was not easy, because the way that I wrote all that stuff down, a lot of it was, I re-edited one part after I wrote a paragraph, and I had to, rewrite for greater clarity over a line, and my several throughout what I've read you, a lot of that had to go on. So I certainly thank you for giving me an opportunity to help you to understand who you are, where you are in this, our co-created matrix program, and just how close it is that judgment is upon us. And don't worry, we have a whole bunch more of knowledge that you are not privy to at this moment, but you will be privy to it as we go on to gain the enlightenment that we are so deserving of having. I want to thank you all very much for your time, whether you're my hater or whether you are someone who truly believes in what I'm doing. I want to thank you all, especially you haters, for without you, I wouldn't be here right now. And I wouldn't have the enlightenment that I do. It was you that brought the best out of me so that I could literally help you to decide to let go of all that you believe is going to save you. Coming up very soon in this redemption process, that judgment that I told you was upon us. So, it's your time to make a decision. You do not have much time. Once again, thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining me. And to my new haters who don't care if I said thank you, carry on.